look, squish, squish. Welcome to the kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make my new improved ultimate sponge. It's a vanilla sponge. Who doesn't love vanilla? Surely everyone loves vanilla, right? This is a cake that you need to have. Now the reason I've improved it is because I've changed the fat in it. This cake stays much more squishy at room temperature, and I use this for most of my birthday cakes. This recipe will make one double 8-inch layer cake or a tray bake or about 16 cupcakes. Everything you need to make this is just down there, and save this recipe because you're going to need it for loads of cakes that you make. It's a really adaptable recipe as well because you can change flavours, you can add in fruit, you can do all sorts of things with it. I'm starting off by mixing my sugar and my butter, but also vegetable oil. Okay, so that's going to mean that once it's cooled down, it's still going to have a nice squishiness to it. Because what happens to butter when it's cold, Dan?
It seizes up.
It sets, doesn't it?
It sets,
it goes rock solid. So that's what's going to happen to your sponges. If you've made a sponge just with butter and it's kind of cold day, it's going to be quite hard. You can use golden caster sugar or regular caster sugar. Some butter, make sure it's very soft when you're mixing it in. You want everything at room temperature when you're bringing a sponge together. You can use sunflower oil or you can use light olive oil. So that's your magic ingredient here for your sponge. Didn't plug it in. Whisk away. And I'm going to be doing, am I allowed to speak while the mix is on? You can use vanilla extract or you can use vanilla bean paste. Both are delicious. This is Nielsen Massey, it's my favourite one. Really good quality vanilla extract. I like to use the vanilla bean paste because you get all those lovely little flecks of vanilla seeds in your sponge or your buttercream. So I'm going to use a bit of my bean paste today. Just do double vanilla just for fun. I want to really, really cream it so it becomes very light and pale and fluffy. So I'm going to turn up the speed. Give that a really good mix. And if you haven't got a stand mixer, you can use electric hand whisk or just a wooden spoon and lots of elbow grease. But you want to make sure that it goes really pale and creamy. So you can almost feel those sugar granules have started to disappear. And you'll see the mixture will go lighter in colour. So can you see the difference already? It's gone much lighter in colour. Scrape that down a bit. And just give it a bit more of a cream. So that is lovely and pale and creamy. I like to crack my eggs out of the mixture into a bowl and then put them in just for a couple of reasons. One, just in case I get any shell in there, because there's nothing worse than that, is there, when you've got an egg mayonnaise sandwich or something, or a sponge cake and you get a crunchy bit of shell. Or occasionally, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes the eggs could be off. So if you've put all your eggs in, then you put the last one in and it's off, then you've blown it. Just mix them until they're thoroughly combined. It's basically like a mothership recipe that you can adapt. You can even take away like 25-30 grams of the flour and replace that with cocoa, and that will become a chocolate sponge. You can add some coffee to it and make coffee and walnut. You can put blueberries in it. It's a very versatile sponge. Don't worry if it looks a bit curdled at this point, because once you put the flour in, it will all come together. Last egg going in. Then we've got our self-raising flour. To that I'm adding a little bit of sea salt and some baking powder. I know it's self-raising, but I like to add a little bit of extra baking powder to give it more of a lift. Just whisk that through. Bosh it in all at once. If you're only doing a small mix like this, you can just put the whole lot in and then just gently mix it through till it's all combined. And the last ingredient for this very special Squidgy birthday cake is sour cream or natural yogurt. So there's quite a lot of liquid in this cake. That also makes it less sweet, and it's just going to be absolutely delicious. You wait till you try it. You never want to overmix your flour because it will go tough because you'll develop the gluten in there. So just literally mix it through very, very slowly until you've seen all of the floury bits disappear. Have you ever made this sponge, Dan?
No, is it yours?
That's it. Look at that lovely mixture. Because it's got more liquid in it and not as much butter, it's got the oil. I don't know what it is, I'm not a scientist. This one always seems to come out and it rises just completely flat. I'm going weigh it. It should be around about 450 grams per tin-ish. There's 460 in there. Oh gosh, I've got 1 gram away. 460. Oh, it says 461 now, but anyway. Just need to level those off. Look at that. 2 lovely level sponges. They're going to go into the oven on 170 fan for around about 20 minutes. I'll check them halfway through and just make sure. In we go. Right. 20 minutes. They smell amazing. So, how do you tell if the sponges are cooked? They'll slightly shrink away from the edge of the tin. You can just give them a gentle push. But you want to use a sharp knife and just make sure that in the middle, that comes out completely clean. Just to make sure that it's cooked right through the centre. I like to leave my cakes in the tins for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to turn them onto a wire rack to cool completely. Right, so it's time to turn them out. So just remove the paper carefully. I love it when you do that and you get all that lovely steam. It's a very, very delicate sponge, as I say, because it's not got the butter in, so you need to handle it carefully. Let that cool down completely. Oh, I mean, just can we take a second to see how squishy this is? Look at it, squish, squish. So once you've let those cool completely, you've got 2 perfect vanilla sponges. You can simply sandwich them with some buttercream and fruit for a victorious sandwich, or create a lovely birthday cake. The choice is yours, but what I'm gonna do, so Dan can take it home, I'm gonna do a classic birthday sprinkles cake, but a really, really fast way to decorate it.
Start the clock. Now it's going down.
No. Oh, I haven't got everything prepped up. Ta-da, there it is, a birthday cake, which I made from my sponges. Let's cut it open and see that delicious squidgy texture on the inside. I told you it's super soft. Look at that soft, spongy texture. The ultimate vanilla sponge recipe, the only cake recipe you need. Let's have a look and a taste. It's just really crumbly and soft. Magnificent.